fight to keep Terri Schiavo alive is being played out on the national stage, but every day Americans make these life and death decisions with dignity, without the court, Congress, or the president. Elizabeth Cohen visited a family near Atlanta, Georgia, that made a decision on its own painful terms.
An ordinary home in an ordinary American neighborhood. Ed Davis is dying. It's clear the end is near, and so this past Friday, Ed's children and grandchildren came to say goodbye. They let us share these intimate moments because they wanted to be an example of how to die with love and with dignity.
I'm not concerned about the cancer. I'm not concerned about dying.
Cancer was diagnosed just a month ago, so advanced that Ed's surgeons could offer no help.
It was in my liver and my pancreas and possibly other parts of the body.
Doctors offered chemotherapy and dialysis for his ailing kidneys, but they made it clear these treatments would not buy Ed Davis much time, and what little he would have would be unpleasant. So Ed said no.
We're supposed to die. We're not supposed to live forever. And if you're living on artificial means, you're not really living. You're just existing.
Ed Davis has spent his 84 years a happy man. He's had the love of his wife, Chris, and their 3 sons and their families. He chose to live these last remaining days at home with care from hospice and love from his family and friends. As a man of faith, he wanted one thing: to spend one last Sunday in church.
I just got thinking if I might not ever get to go to church again. And it was like that last time.
But one last Sunday in church seemed pretty unlikely last Friday. The family took turns sitting by his side, feeding him, thanking him for his love, and hoping he'd get that one last wish.
You just be your sweet, lovable self, and everything will be fine.
Over the weekend, the Davises talked about old times. They've been married for 61 years.
But she's a country girl, for sure. I had to put shoes on her when we got married. 3 children.
For most of the weekend, the family told stories. They laughed and shared their love.
I don't have a thing to worry about with this girl. She's going to be a fine woman.
But Saturday was rough for the Davises.
We really weren't sure he was even going to make it through the night.
But he did, and on Easter Sunday, his last wish came true. Mr. Davis took communion, his faith steady, an example of grace and dignity.
Father God, we're so thankful for Ed. Lord, his courageous witness for you.
So, Mr. Davis, you said you really wanted to go to church. Now you've been. How do you feel?
Fulfilled.
Fulfilled by the love of his family and by living out his last few days exactly as he wanted.
It's not hard to make a decision like this when you're 84 years old. Lived a good life and raised a fine family. Of course, it's not always easy to leave, but we had to do that. We cry like this when we go on a trip. So that's where I'm going. Is on a trip. I'm going to take the rest of my life and be with the Lord in heaven.
Ed Davis died Sunday night, just hours after we spoke, surrounded by his family, in his own home, at peace.
What a beautiful and courageous man. Elizabeth Cohen reporting. There is, of